Hello, everyone. Welcome. Happy Friday. This is my July online card class, and I'm so excited to share these cards with you guys. It was a huge hit with my in-person class, so I am excited about this one. There is a lot of die cutting, or kinda. Um, Not like a ton, but some cards have more than others. So I did do some of the die cutting early, just so that you guys weren't watching me just die cut all night long. Um, but yeah, so I did get some of the die cutting done in advance, which I'll show you guys a few tips and tricks on the die cutting, as well as go through a few of those things too. What is everyone's beverage of choice this evening? Mine is Dr. Pepper Zero, and I have my water too, which is over there. I always have my water everywhere I go because I'm kind of a freak like that. Yeah, I'm always afraid I'm gonna like choke on my own spit and die, so I always have to have my water around me. Hi, Denise. Good evening. We are doing well. It is really, really hot out, and the kids have got to get out of the house and love to be outside and stuff. And so it's been kind of hard with that. Um, Today was probably the first day that we really just said, no, we're not going outside. It was like a blast furnace out there. Um, so after supper, instead of going on our normal walk, we went to Kohl's and just walked around. I can't say I really like saw anything that I was too super excited about. I don't know. I feel kind of weird about shopping nowadays. I've been to like a couple stores and I don't know, nothing like super grabs my attention and excites me. So I don't know if I'm just becoming like lame or I just don't care for the styles now, or I just don't have the energy to try things on and hope it fits. Could be all of the above. Who knows? But yeah, so we got outside to do that. The other thing is our air quality has not been the best. And like I'm starting to feel it. So I also didn't want to go outside for that factor either. But okay, well, we are going to go ahead and get started because I don't want to keep you guys on all night long, even though I would love to hang out with you guys all night long. But this is the July 2022 online card class. It's free for you guys to all watch. So share with a friend, pass it along, let everyone know about it. I appreciate all shares, likes, comments, stars, anything like that. I greatly appreciate it. It just helps more people see my channel and my videos, and then I can share my love of stamping with more people. And I love that. So, with this class, there's a couple options. I did sell out of the card kits, so I don't have any more of the card kits, the pre-cut card kits, that you'll see as we go along and everything. So I did sell out of those, and the only other thing is you can still get the download, PDF download, instant download, so you could go do it right now. But don't leave the video because you don't want to miss out. But that is my Etsy shop right up here. So you can go to etsy.com/shop/Laura's Stamp Pad. Good evening, Laura. I almost said good morning. How crazy is that? Because I'm normally on in the morning, but it's evening. It's been a long day. So you can shop my Etsy shop and get the PDF download for this class and all my past classes. So if you ever missed out on any of those, then you can check that out for the PDF download on my Etsy shop. And then you can also click on the link for all those videos and check those out as well. Because all the videos are on my Facebook and on my YouTube channel, Laura's Stamp Pad. So tonight we are actually using the lights aglow, not just glow. Even though that is just glow. Lights aglow suite from the new July to December mini catalog. So you'll notice that the brightest glow stamp set has all my greetings on it. So I have inside outside greetings, great greetings for like big ones, skinny ones, little ones, small ones, like long ones, like so many. So like super loving this stamp set for all of those different ones. I really love this big Merry Christmas. But I also like what's the other one that I really like? I think it's the wishing you a season of hope and light, but I also really like hoping or your Christmas shines bright with the love of family and friends, because I really like that whole family and friends part of the holidays. This is the Christmas lights stamp set. So it's got those two little swag things. I actually didn't use those on any of the cards, and I'm kind of sad I didn't, but I kind of ran out of not ideas, but I ran out of samples because I only wanted to do 5, and I was like, I could have went on to 22 if I really let myself. Then there's the trees, the snowflakes, little tree, and all that. And then there's die cuts that coordinate with both of these. This die cuts a lot of these same images, whereas this one die cuts a lot of like greetings and like banner labels and things like that that you'll see throughout all of these cards. So I'm going to get started on what some of my in-person class people said was the hardest card, but others said it wasn't the hardest. So I don't know, but I'm going to go ahead and get started with this one here. So if you have your card kit, go ahead and get out the Cherry Cobbler card. You save money. Yeah, I definitely saved money because we didn't spend anything. I even had a $25 gift card at Kohl's that I like kind of burns a hole in my pocket. But I really didn't see anything that I wanted, so I was kind of meh on it. Hi, Colleen. Good evening. So yeah, if you have the card kit, get out the Cherry Cobbler one. And we are going to get started with this one. One of the things about this whole suite is it uses vanilla. And I don't think I have used vanilla on my cards in like a year almost. I feel like everything has been basic white and not vanilla. So it was kind of interesting and fun to grab vanilla instead. And then I have 2 different pieces for this card. Part of me wants to do the one and part of me wants to stick to the other. So I like, of course, the designer series card pack, there's only so many sheets of one. So some of my cards had this foil dotted line. And then some of them had these golden snowflakes. So I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the golden snowflakes only because that's what I did for the sample. And I think that's what everybody has for the card kits. Some of my in-person classes had to use the stripes. I'm also going to take my Daffodil Delight and my blending brush. And this, some people said they loved it, and some people were like, I think I could have done without that, because maybe the technique was too hard or whatever. But you'll see that the tree sort of has this glow behind it in the designer paper. And that's what I did using my blender brush. So like, I don't know, sometimes I feel like you can see it really well. Maybe I need to stop moving it. I'm the same, Denise. I use a lot of vanilla during like the holidays or during fall, but not so much the rest of the year. So I also went ahead and I die cut out my gold glimmer tree. So let me show you the tree dies. There's 2 of them actually. There's like a detailed die and then there's an outline tree. So the detailed die we want to use for our green, but just the outline is what I used for the gold glimmer. So I die cut out just the gold glimmer with the outline. And then one of the other tips that I have is that this piece measures 4 by 4 1/4. You want to make sure that you have it 4 1/4 going down and not going across. See how it's got that nice little border all the way around? Whereas if you went this way, it would go flush side to side. So you definitely want to make sure that your 4 1/4 goes up and down. And then I placed my tree down, not with adhesive, just set it down. And it's right in the middle. And then I'm just going to move it over a little bit. So there's where I want it. I'm going to move it over a little bit. And then bring in my Daffodil Delight ink. And then we're just going to like lightly brush in this same angle, this triangle angle of our tree, ever so lightly. And I kind of like started in more so that I don't have that like distinct start look, and then sort of worked my way out. And you really just want to go subtle. Like if you can like super see it, it might be almost like too much. So there you can kind of see that line of yellow. There, it shows up on camera. Good. And then now we're going to do that on the other side. I'm going to kind of put my tree back in the middle. Yep, I can see some of it like haloing out. So now I'm going to drop it like down here, like sort of over and down since it's a triangle. And again, I'm going to kind of do that same thing. And then I'm just going to do, now see that side I did a little darker than the other side. I'm just going to do a little at the bottom because that'll be like the bottom of my tree. And again, this isn't necessary, but I thought it gave like a nice little fun halo to our tree. That was just a little extra added touch. And then with the inside piece, I just kind of brushed the edge. And that goes on the inside of the card. Okay, so now we're done with our Daffodil Delight. We're done with our blending brush. And now we can start to assemble. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on our card front. And it goes with a nice little border around the top and the two sides. And actually our Glimmer strip goes on the bottom. And then we have a piece of Very Vanilla, and this is going to go on the inside. And then we can start stamping. Okay. So I also already went ahead and die cut this label with the label set. I am unsure as to where exactly this one is. Tried to keep them all nearby, but apparently failed at that. I'm sure I'll find it as we move on. And I'm using Evening Evergreen. You really like the card layout? Yes, I'm trying to use my blending brushes more because I know you guys had spoke about wanting the blending brushes and getting more used to those. So I'm trying to use them a lot more. So one of the things I will say, at least about my Happy Holidays, is that there's a big border on the top. So you really need to be careful of how you're stamping with that to make sure that you're not rocking and getting that like, well, yeah, like that right there. That little squish. But yet that you're also getting all of the letters because the letters are like skinny. Of course, now I'm like super nervous after saying that. Okay, nailed it. Woo! So happy holidays went on there. The season's greetings would also fit on that greeting. I'm using that one for a different card though. So we have our happy holidays. The other one that we're going to do is we're going to take our evening evergreen cardstock and we're going to stamp this tree on it. So we'll go ahead and ink up our tree in evening evergreen and stamp it down on the tree. And I kind of did it a little bit like at an angle. Just so it fit better on there. I was nervous about it. I don't know why. Oh, and then we need a greeting for the inside. On the inside, I did, may the peace of the season light your world, and may your new year be the brightest. And that is this one right here. Fabulous. Okay, I think we're done. Yes, we're done with that ink for now. So I'm going to go ahead and assemble the inside panel. As well as that bottom greeting. And the bottom greeting, I actually used Stampin' Dimensionals. Are you surprised? No, probably not. Oh, you know what I should have done? Stamped that tree onto my envelope. So this is just going to go right over the top of that glitter. There we go. Make sure to push it down really well to make sure that the fibers of the glitter get in with those dimensionals. So I'm going to ink up my tree again and stamp it down. I'm not going to stamp the whole tree because I feel like it's kind of large. How beautiful is that? Super fabulous. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to die cut this out. So I'm going to bring in my little mini, my fave, because it's so cute. And I'm going to lay it down. And then we're actually going to use both of these dies at the same time. So I'm going to line up this, and you'll notice that like a few of these little stars, can you guys even see that stamped image? But a few of those stars line up with these open stars in the die. That way you know that it's lined up correctly. Although I'll be completely honest, I didn't really find that out until like halfway through making a whole bunch of these. So I didn't notice it in the beginning, and I think all my cards still looked good. So I'm not really that concerned with like lining that up. Okay, and then I'm just going to get some little sticky to hold that in place. And this one is going to go right over top of it. There we go. So you can use a Post-it note. You can use, I wouldn't use painter's tape. I've used painter's tape before, and painter's tape is a little too sticky. But this that I just grabbed is actually some of the new masking tape that Stampin' Up! Sells that I've been using. And I used it a few times. And then, like, after I'm kind of, like, it's all wrinkled and crinkly, then I kind of use it as my adhesive for something like this. Okay, so we're going to push this aside. And now we will pop out our beautiful tree. And one of the other things I wanted to share with you guys is There's like a dotted garland that does pop out. There's also random holes that pop out, but there's also some that are just an impression. So if you're like trying to punch it through and you're like, how come it's not punching through? It's just supposed to be a little impression. It's not supposed to be a full punch out. So don't like panic thinking that your die is like broke or something, because it's not supposed to actually punch out completely. I'm going to get out the little foam mat. This is the Take Your Pick tool with the die brush connected to it. I feel like most of these have kind of come out, except for there's a few that I'm just going to use the other end of the Take Your Pick tool and poke those out. I will say it is hard. You're like, okay, wait, does that one poke? Nope, that one doesn't poke out. That one does. This one doesn't. So it is kind of crazy. Okay, I think I got them all. So you can see there's a lot of detail to this. There's the stamped image. There's like the little slits up top. There's like all the holes. Then there's the impressions. Like there's so many cool factors to this die cut. And I love that. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're just going to lay this right on top of our gold glimmer paper, just like that, and see how that gold glimmer paper just shines through. It's so fabulous. Look, it's like little twinkling lights. And I actually used Terran tape to get a nice strong hold on that. So you can either use, well, you can use Terran tape or you can use mini glue dots. So let me just grab the mini glue dots. I think that might go a little faster. And I'm probably using like 500 too many. Okay. I just didn't want to go over a piece with the tape on one of the holes and not have that glitter shine through. I know this tree is absolutely stunning. Like this isn't a card I would make like 500 unless I did actually start here in July. But it's the details on it are just amazing. Okay. And then this just lines up directly on top. And we're going to press to make sure that that adhesive gets in with the glitter paper. And then now I added this with dimensionals because again, I want that like popped up look. So it looks like it's glowing in the back where we added that little bit of Daffodil Delight. How is everybody doing this evening? Are you guys all like, it's finally Friday? I feel like yesterday was Friday. I feel like the day before was like later in the week. I don't know. This week has just been a weird one. Although I kind of feel like I say that every week now. I can't wait for school to start for some form of routine. I just feel like every day is kind of chaotic. And I know our library events have all ended for the kids. So now I'm like, what are we going to do? And now I'm just going to add some Festive Pearls. If you got your kit, then I added a whole mess of Festive Pearls for you guys. Because I wanted you guys all to have options. Oh, here it is. So again, I'm going to take the putty tip of the Take Your Pick tool. And I added red. I also added some gold. You can kind of play around with that, whatever you would like. And you can add as many or as few as you want. I'm kind of adding them on like the bigger stars, but also not all of them because otherwise I think some of them would be a little close together. And then I'm just adding one on either end of the greeting. And there we have that fabulous card. So here is card number 1. This is what a lot of my stampers in person said was the hardest one. So if you're stamping along with me and you thought this was hard, then I think it goes downhill from there to be easier. But yeah, so here is card number 1. Happy holidays. Super, super cute. Okay, let's move on to card number 2. And we are going to go with this one. This one's probably the easiest one. So we'll zip right through this one. This one, oh wait, here's the sample. So this one just uses that fabulous designer series paper and a little bit of stamping. There's no actual die cutting in this card. Actually, wait a minute. Yep, that's right. All of a sudden I was like, wait, did I die cut on the inside? So we're going to go ahead and fold our soft succulent card base in half. And use the bone folder for that nice strong crease. And then the first thing that we want to do is we want to stamp those little bitty stars all over around the edge. So we really don't need to stamp in the middle because that's where we're layering all of our pieces. So we're just going to stamp all around the edge. And I kind of like to rotate the stamp a little bit as I'm going along. Just to get like a different look. So it doesn't look like I'm literally stamping like one, all the way down. And instead it kind of mixes it up a little bit and goes in on the image a little bit. But again, it's probably not that big of a deal. I just tried to avoid times where it's going to look like repetitive, but then incorrect. Like, you know, if you have a straight line of stuff, you're going to notice when one thing is crooked. But if you purposely crooked things, or if you like, you know, do star, heart, triangle, then it's going to be like random and it's not going to be as noticeable that's like star, 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 star. You know what I mean? Or have I completely lost you? Okay, I think that's probably enough. Let me take the designer paper and make sure I went in far enough on the sides, which I did not. So let's go a little farther in. Okay, should be good there. And then the very vanilla, I'm just going to do the 2 right-hand corners. And now I have a different designer series paper than some of you guys. Well, or maybe all of you guys, I'm not sure. So you can see this one I use sort of like a sparkly tree designer series paper. And this one is just a little different. It's like one large tree over the 6x6. Trying to see if I have even like a scrap piece of the print that I used. Well, here's like some of it. But see how it's like little tight trees? But then I also did it in this, which there's a lot of prints in the pack that are in Cherry Cobbler as well. The same exact like style of print. So you could really do all of these cards in Soft Succulent as well as Cherry Cobbler and use the same layout and the same designer series paper pack, but get a different look. So I'm just going to go ahead and add my square to the center. So up and down, there's like a small little border. Side to side, there's a larger border. And then I'm going to layer on a piece of vellum, and the vellum is 3.5 inches. So for all of you guys that got kits, and then you got another little fabulous card with the correct size of the vellum. I apologize for that. Hopefully all of your vellum has arrived in time for the class. I did the first morning class of in-person, and everybody's like, the vellum is the same size as the designer paper. And I was like, oh no. Because it was like the day before that I had sent out I think all of the kits or the majority of the kits. So then I had to resend those out. So I hope you guys all got your vellum in time to be able to assemble this card. So I'm not really concerned that my adhesive is showing because um, it's going to be covered up. And then the designer series paper pack actually has sheets of the squares. There's 4 squares, 3x3 that you can cut. And then there's also circles that you can do as well. So for the square, which is what I did for my tutorial, I just then put a vanilla square in the middle. If you did the circle, I just die cut out a circle. So you could use a die or a punch, the layering circles dies, and then put that right in the center and layer it just like that. So you could use either one. And I use the greeting, hoping your Christmas shines bright with the love of family and friends. And I'm going to go ahead and do the circle too. That was a little off, but I think it's okay. And I actually put dimensionals on the designer paper. I'm going to go ahead and finish this one out as the circle just to be different than what the original sample looks like, and to show you that you can do it either way. And I added dimensionals to this layer, but really you could add dimensionals on whichever layer you prefer, or on none of the layers. That's perfectly fine too. You got the vellum yesterday? Oh, perfect timing, Colleen. Yeah, I was hoping that all the vellum would arrive in time. So there's the designer series paper popped up, and then we're just going to add the circle in the middle. Whoop, little far down. There we go. So you can see the square and the circle, both looking super fabulous, same concept, and the designer paper is different, but you can still see that gold trim around. There's no real gold kind of popping out down here, but I really don't think that that's like the focal point, and that anyone's really going to notice that. So it's all good. I'm going to go ahead and add this to this square just so that I don't lose it. Now I only have one piece to lose instead of 2. Now this leftover piece of the designer paper is going to go on the inside, which you could really use whichever side you want. This side is not glitter or like gold foiled, but this side is and has that like tree branch sort of thing. Both sides are super fabulous. I've already added adhesive, but I actually kind of should have done that one. And this is just going to go flush with the edge, or you could always leave a little border, but it's also flush up and down. And you can see why I only did 2 of those over here. And now you can stamp a greeting on the inside if you wish, or you can leave it blank. It kind of depends on how much you like to write in your Christmas cards. To be honest, I send out so many Christmas cards, I just sign my name. So I really don't typically write a lot. I just sign my name. So stamping Merry Christmas is perfect. And I'm actually going to stamp it kind of high, because by the time I write like love and hugs, Brad, Laura, Claire, and Alex, and I write really big, then I kind of need all the space I can get. And, oh wait, I was just thinking how I was going to stamp the envelope, and then I moved the ink pad. So I just stamped the little lip down there, a little one in the corner there, and a little one in the corner there. Super, super cute. And that's card number 2. Oh, wait, I forgot my jewels. I have 2 left. Here I got some more putty out and I almost got like too much. 2 little jewels left in this pack. And I just did a little like triangle pattern with the jewels. And I used the green ones. So there is card number 2 in both square and circle with the coordinating envelope. So let me know, which one do you guys like better? Do you like card number 1 or card number 2? And then we are off to card number 3. Okay. I don't even know which one I want to do next. I think we're going to go with what I kind of think is the next hardest one. Elegant, you like them both? That's fabulous. So I kind of thought the whole time this one was going to be the hardest one. This one does have a lot of pieces to it. So it's just a lot of assembly. I wouldn't necessarily say it's hard, but it's got that fabulous double Z fold. And by double, I'm showing you, see how there is 1Z and 2Z. So 1 and 2. Which is why it is a double Z-fold card. And it uses those dies that die cut out, that detailed snowflake. So this actually like die cuts it on the paper, not as like an image that like pops out. So let's get started on this one. If you have your card packet, then get out the navy blue. Yeah, it's the only navy blue one. The navy blue card. And I have a piece that's 4 1/4 by 11, and I scored it in half. So it's scored at 5 1/2. And then that front panel is also scored in half at 2 3/4. And this is going to fold back. So it's like your regular card front, and then this is going to fold back. And there you have a Z. Okay. And then the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to layer on all of our vanilla pieces. So we have 2 pieces that are the smaller ones and then one of the big ones. And these are just going to go all on their respective panels. So this one goes inside. And then these 2 just go, I don't know why I flipped that over as if there's a front and back. The very vanilla is the same on both sides. And then this is going to go right here. And this one is going to go right here. Okay. Got a little sticky right there. So now we have our 3 panels done with the vanilla. And then I took one of the panels, one of the small panels, and I used the snowflake. The big snowflake and the little snowflake. Medium snowflake. I don't know where the medium snowflake is right now. I'm not going to lie, these snowflakes have given me quite a few heart palpitations. I lost the little mini tree earlier. There it is. Okay. So I simply placed them down on the blue and then ran them through my mini cut and emboss. And then they pop out and then all the little holes pop out. And then I did the bigger snowflake on the second small panel at the top. Because on the bottom, you're going to have all this decoration with that second Z fold. So you want it to be at the top. And the placement of these two is just kind of like angled just to kind of round out the card, but it really doesn't matter. In my original, I actually did a third one here, but then it's of course covered up by, I did a third one like right here, but then you can see it's covered up by the snowflakes. So you don't need to do that third one. I just did the two. And I didn't go in the corner because if I went in the corner, then I would have felt like I needed like three. So I just kind of did like angled a little bit. You like card number 1 the best? Well, let's see what you think of the rest of the cards. Okay, so the one with the 2 small snowflakes goes on the far left-hand side. The one with the big snowflake goes in the middle. And then our big blue panel, I did one of the big snowflakes, well, or the medium, I guess you'll call it. One of the medium snowflakes just in the corner. And this one, I haven't popped out all of the little holes. Some of them like fell out really easily. Some of them did not. And like those all came out fine. They just kind of needed a little extra boost. One of the other tips that I do want to say is like I can see right here, one of these has a little blue piece of cardstock stuck in it. So you can probably crank through like 2 or 3, but after like the third one, make sure to clean out all those little holes because if like, so the die kind of cuts, like it's kind of like a cookie cutter. And imagine if you never took out, or like a biscuit cutter, if you never took the biscuit out of the middle of that cutter and left it in there, then eventually you're not going to be able to cut because there's going to be too much biscuit in the cutter to stamp the next biscuit out. So you need to kind of clean out that biscuit cutter before going on to the next one, or otherwise it kind of doesn't cut. It almost just like embosses. So every, third one or so, just make sure to clean out your biscuit cutter. And that goes for any of your dies that have those little intricate holes like this one, as well as this label, which I'm apparently going to have to find now because I do need to still die cut that. Okay, then we're going to go ahead and stamp on this, and it says, wishing you a season of light and hope. And I'm actually stamping this in Night of Navy ink. And the one thing that I do want to let you know about this is just to make sure that you're stamping it to the left-hand side of this balmy blue piece of cardstock because you want it to be covered up whenever your card is folded. You don't really want it sticking out over here. You want it to be hidden up under there. So I just kind of stamped it over to the side. And there you go. And now we can go ahead and place this on our card front as well. And I'm out of adhesive. Not surprised. This one should get me through the rest of the class. Okay. So then this goes right over the top. So now we have our 3 panels are all done, and it's time to add that second Z fold to it. So that's what this Night of Navy strip is. It is also scored at 5.5, which is directly in half, and at 2 3/4, which we're going to fold back. So here is Z number 2. And then this one is actually going to go on like backwards than you think. It doesn't actually like Z with your card. It Z's against your card. So you want the long top panel to be to the front and the Z part on the right-hand side going to the back. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add tear and tape to this. When it's a moving mechanism, I like to use tear and tape just for that strong adhesive. If I can find it. There it is. Back in the basket where I put it. Okay, so we're going to add adhesive to that lip, that far back 2 3/4 fold, as well as this side where our long piece is, but only to that fold. And I will show you what I mean here. So the whole back looks like it has adhesive on it, but there's a break in it right there, right? Because that's where our fold is at. So see how our adhesive is on this first panel and just the half end of that last long panel. Hi, babe. Did you just stub your toe? Yes, you stubbed your toe. Oh, come here. Do you want to say hi to all of our friends? Here. Is your toe okay?
No, it's
Oh, it's this one? Oh, right there. I see. Maybe Daddy can get you a Band-Aid. Yeah. Okay. Do you want to show all of our friends your squishies? Yeah, Claire's excited to show you guys all of her squishies. So we're going to take a little break to show off these. Apparently they're like the new fad, but they're like a giant marshmallow. And we have a lot of them. They take baths and apparently they last forever. Careful, that's an ink pad. So this was the original, the piggy. But we have lots of others as well. Your goldfish. Yeah, there it is. Okay. Put them back in your bag now so that they can go night-night. Okay, put them back in. Put them back in. Put them back in. Come on. Okay.
Mommy, I want to make a cry with you.
Okay. Can you tell all your friends night-night?
Night-night.
Night-night.
No, I want to make a cry with you.
You have to go upstairs.
And then I can come back down. And then I can make a cry with you.
Okay, we'll see, okay? I love you.
Love you.
Night-night.
Night-night.
Oh, Colleen says, hi, Claire. Your squishies are cute. Oh, she loves it. Okay. Sorry about that little toddler break. Okay, so back to the Z fold. You want adhesive on that first tab and just half of that last tab. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to peel off adhesive on that last tab here. And we're going to fold this up. And this is going to go flush with the edge of our card and with a nice little balmy blue border towards the bottom. And press. Okay, so now you can see that our card is stuck on this last panel. and it's flush with the edge of our Night of Navy. And there's a little bit of balmy blue peeking out the bottom down here. Okay, now when it comes time to add this top piece, I don't recommend placing it down exactly where you think it needs to go. Like, of course, we want it to be flush with the edge and everything over here. But cardstock sometimes likes to do its own thing. And we want the card to open and lay, like open nice and lay flat. So what we're going to do here is we're actually just going to peel off the adhesive, which is only on this little half. And it's going to stick right here on this folded panel in. And all I'm going to do is close it. And it's going to stick where it wants to stick. If you try to place it exactly, then you're going to end up with the cardstock wanting to be like a little like wonky. I don't know how else, like, you know, it's not going to like lay flat. It's going to like lay like twisted a little bit. And the perfect like reasoning, like I'll show you, see how mine is peeking out just a hair and it also looks like a little angled. That's fine. I'm just going to trim that off. But if I were to have lined that up perfectly, it would have been a little wonky and then my card wouldn't have laid flat. So now I know that it's going to lay nice and flat because all I did was seal it closed just like that. And then now we get to decorate with all of those snowflakes as well as the greeting panel. So I die cut out the large snowflake in the very vanilla glimmer paper. So that's this gorgeous beauty. She also has a few little spots in her die cut that is like a biscuit cutter and it likes to hold. So that's like these little holes right here. And with that glimmer paper, they definitely get like clogged faster. I had some where like it almost came out with like lumps because it pulled out the last piece of glitter onto the next card because it like smashed in so tightly. And then I will say on whenever you run that through your die cut, then you can always add this little 3 snowflake piece to any of the corners. So I just popped it on one of the corners whenever I ran it through and ran it through at the same time all together. And then I left these in the die so that I wouldn't lose them. And I will say that a mini glue dot fits perfectly on the back of all of these. I thought about using some adhesive sheet, but I also just wanted to do like the little random corners of my glimmer paper to kind of use up every piece of it. So I didn't want to put adhesive sheet on the whole thing because we don't want adhesive sheet on the entire back of this because otherwise it would seal our card closed. So I'm just adding 2 over here on that, the back panel, the inside of the card, if you will. And then we'll add 1 over here. And then I need to die cut out a few more. I'm actually going to trim this down. And die cut a few just right here on this corner. Like if you kind of like position it correctly, you might even be able to get 4 sets of these little snowflakes because they can go on the 4 corners of the snowflake. Not that the snowflake has corners, but the piece of paper kind of has 4 corners on it. Isn't the balmy blue with that night of navy just absolutely stunning together? I love it. I also always have people think that the Glimmer paper has an adhesive back already on it because it's so thick, and that is not the case. So they're like trying to peel off the back paper from the Glimmer paper, and I'm like, oh, no, 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 that's not adhesive. That's just thick backing. And really, I kind of should decorate with my snowflakes here at the end once I have my other snowflake piece, because otherwise I might kind of cover something up that I don't want covered up. So yeah, I'm going to wait on that last one. Hopefully I can find it later. So now you can really decorate with this piece wherever you would like. Just make sure that it is hanging off in this area, that it is not getting on, like the adhesive is only on the back side and not on the part that's hanging off, because you don't want to seal your card shut. So I had a couple people put it farther to the right or left hand side and then put their greeting over here. I had some people put the greeting like dead center. That like is all personal preference on where you would like to put your snowflake. I almost feel like I want my snowflake to be like farther over. So I'm going to add adhesive to the left-hand side and kind of place it like right, like nooked between, like I feel like you guys can't even see those die cut out snowflakes. Let me hold it up like a little closer. So there's those two like die cut snowflakes in the paper, and then my snowflake, and then my die cut over there. And then my greeting is going to go like right here. So I have a strip of the balmy blue, and then I really need to find that die. Oh, here it is. And I love that this skinny little greeting here can go on lots of scraps. So you can use any of your like little strips of scrap paper to be able to die cut those greetings. And like I feel like that greeting piece is like fabulous for so many different greetings. Wow, it just really shot out the other side. This is also another one that's, you need to clean out the biscuit cutter. I feel like that's like totally the thing about this die now is biscuit cutter. Oh, geez. But yeah, you'll see there's those 6 little, 3 on this side, 3 on the other side. And you can just use your take your pick tool, real easy. And it actually, like, it was nice and cleaned out already. So it pulled out all 6 of those little pieces. So no poke, poke, poke on that one. And I'm just going to stamp Season's Greetings. Don't mess up, don't mess up, don't mess up. Yay! I have so many like messy, inky stamps like over here that I just need to clean at the end. Okay, and then this I added with Stampin' Dimensionals. But you can also add it with the tear and tape too, if you wish. Kind of depends on how like lumpy and everything you want your greeting to be. I don't even know where my dimensionals are, but I do know my tear and tape is right here. So I'm just going to use tear and tape then. Whoa. I have like a little like container over the top of my trash can, because then that's where I have the cut and emboss, so it's easy to grab. But I keep trying to put stuff in the trash and I can't. Okay, and then this is just gonna go, I want it like nice and evenly spaced on the right hand side here. And then it's gonna go over the Glimmer paper a little bit. So I'm gonna press really hard to get it into that Glimmer paper. Oh, I still need to do the two more little pieces. Where is my snowflake? That's this one here. So I need to die cut out a vanilla snowflake as well as a Night of Navy snowflake. And you know what? I'm actually going to, there's a few little dots on there that I don't want impressed into my next one. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to die cut the snowflake in the very vanilla. And at the same time, I'm going to die cut this one, which is the other label, because I need that for the next card that we're going to do. So one fewer crank through. We're multitasking now. And then I don't know where my little piece of Night of Navy is. Oh, and a big tip, a big tip that I wanted to share with you guys. You're probably thinking, oh my gosh, she just die cut out that snowflake before stamping on it first. You're right. I did just do that. I know, I'm a crazy person. Okay, we're going to set that one aside with everything else. So for my class, I did this so that I could have some pieces die cut out for everyone so we weren't die cutting all night long or we would have been here forever. I was wondering why I was keeping these little pieces, and now I remember. And I'm going to show you a fun little tip to use your Stamparatus to get the perfect stamped image on a die cut piece. Normally, I say to stamp first and then to die cut your image. You just line up the die with the stamped image, right? Like we did with the Evening Evergreen. But sometimes whenever you have a really small image, it's hard to line it up perfectly. Sometimes whenever you're making multiples, like one night you want to do all the die cutting, another night you want to do all of the stamping. Or you get frustrated where your die moves on you and you're like, but I already stamped it. Now I have to stamp it again. Get out the ink pad, get out all the stuff and everything. And that can be frustrating, right? Yes, I'm very frustrated when that happens. So I want to show you a fun little tip. So I have my Stamparatus. Oh, look, here's one right now. Perfect. Okay, so what I did is I have a piece of scrap paper down on my Stamparatus. I took the stamp that's all inked up. I took the stamp and just placed it down. It doesn't matter where you place it as long as it's on the scrap paper. Pick it up with your Stamparatus. Ink up the little snowflake. Stamp it down. Now I know where it's going to stamp. Take that outline like negative from where you just die cut it out and line it up perfectly. So it's going to go right here. Now I know that it's lined up perfectly. And what we're going to do is we're then going to take the die cut that we die cut out, puzzle piece it back into that, and then stamp it. And then it's perfect. And you can use this same template forever and ever and ever. Hi. Do you want to stamp a snowflake?
Yeah.
Yeah. Does that sound like fun? Okay.
I want to do a card.
We're going to put that in. Mommy's going to ink this up in Night of Navy ink.
What are you doing?
Okay, and then you just need to close it, okay?
Okay, can
Here.
I close this?
Get up on my lap. And close. And press right here. And open. You can just drop it back. There you go. And look, we have a snowflake. How cool is that? And it's perfectly lined up and everything. And like I said, you can then, like if you were doing Christmas cards with family or friends, And everybody kind of had like a little task. One person could do all the die cutting, one person could do all the stamping. It's so easy, it's so simple, and it's super fabulous. So now what we're going to do is we're actually going to like offset these because these are the exact same. The Night of Navy and the stamped one are exactly the same. So we're just going to rotate them and offset them so that the Night of Navy still peeks through a little.
You can sit down.
Just like that. And then this I added to the center of my Glimmer with Stampin' Dimensionals. Do you like that glitter?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Can I help you do that?
You sure can. You can add a Stampin' Dimensional to the center of our Night of Navy snowflake.
Okay.
Just one down here.
Okay.
Okay, and then put it on the back.
That one is hard.
That one's hard.
Okay.
Peel off the back and then stick it on.
Off this?
Yep, on the back of that. Nope, stick it on right there. And then now we're going to stick this right in the middle and press. Now open and close the card.
Open.
And close.
Perfect.
Okay.
Can that one be mine?
Yes. Actually, here, you can have this one because Mommy needs to finish the other one with a few pieces of bling. Okay, so you can take that one. Night-night. I love you.
Another one for you.
We'll put it on your dresser.
Okay, and then this one, we still need to add a little bit of bling. So I'm going to use some of the silver dots. But you could also use some of the green. They would kind of go as well. And I'm going to add like 3 over here. You could also add like regular pearls to it. But I went, because the regular pearls might go with the vanilla snowflake glimmer paper. And then, oh, I don't know why I picked up another one. I think 3 is good since it ends here, unless you wanted to put 1 there on the end of that. And then, oh, we should add a snowflake to our envelope. Whoa. Now, I will say this always kind of becomes a little tricky. I'm just going to add 1 snowflake to the center of the back. And where did I put my ink pad? So this is just going to go right there. Oh, I got a little bit of the edges because it wasn't like stuck down, but I don't think anybody will notice. It's all good. It's the envelope. The envelope's going to be ripped up anyway, right? I Wolverine into homemade cards. Like, I know I shouldn't, but I just get so excited because I'm like, it's a homemade card. Or it's just Happy Mail, like Happy Mail in general. If it's got like, you know, this size of envelope and everything, I just get super excited. So this is card number 3, the double Z fold card. Super, super fabulous. And then we have card number 1, card number 2, and now card number 3. So cast your vote. Which one do you like the best so far? And we're going to do 4 and 5 next. So you can hold out if you want, but if you want to vote on 1, 2, and 3, then you certainly can. The next one we're going to do is going to be I think I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to end with the New Year's card. The New Year's card is probably the easiest one. And so I kind of want to do that one first. In the in-person one, I did do it first. But then I was like, well, I feel like we're like starting with New Year's and working our way backwards to Christmas. Okay. So for this one's actually done in green. And I did want to just show you, though, that it has a red option as well. Right there. So this one is a gift card holder. Sorry about that. But this one's a gift card holder. So this is actually a gift card. Well, it's actually just my business card, but anyone who places an order with me gets a little, a handmade card. And instead of writing in the card, I just put this little note in there that says, thank you for ordering, so that you can reuse the card on your own. So this is where your gift card is going to go, is in that little side pocket. And you can do this in the green, or you can do the same exact pattern with the same designer series paper, but use the red version. So I did just want to show you guys how I did it with the cherry cobbler and very vanilla, but it's the same look. Super, super fabulous. Isn't that amazing? Blue is your favorite color? That's awesome. Well, I'm glad that you really liked that card then, and I snuck in sort of a different color scheme, because all of this is, you know, the blues and reds, or I'm sorry, the greens and reds. And I really just wanted to do one that was sort of outside the box. So that's why I snuck that one in, and did it with the snowflakes. And snowflakes, I mean, are shades of blue, right? So I had to do that. So this one has a 4 1/4 by 11 piece of card as your card base. And this is Evening Evergreen. And this time, just the front panel is scored back at 2 inches. So it's not half, it's just 2 inches in. And this time it's going inward. So instead of making a Z, we're making a triangle, right? I don't know. And then with this lip here, you can use a circle punch, a label punch, any sort of punch that's your favorite. And what you're going to do, my favorite punch right now is the decorative circle punch. Love, love, love this one. Like, it's not even on the shelf. It just stays on my desk. I'm going to slide it in. It's going to go side by side. It's going to go centered. And then it's just going to go in a little bit. Like, you're not, just enough to give a little lip for your, I was going to say business card, for your gift card to go in. Where did the gift card go? Oh, here it is. So, like, this one, you can see I went in farther than I did with the green one. But you could use any, like, any circle or anything. I will say, the last card in this class, I used this die. Super fabulous with all of those. And I was like, oh, I'm going to use it for this part. But it doesn't die cut out the middle. It leaves that, which you'll see on that last card. So I thought it was going to be super fabulous, and it did not work. Okay, and then now we're going to take tear and tape. I'm losing everything. I feel like my desk is fairly neat, to be honest. And I keep losing everything. And I think I've already pulled out 2 of the rolls of tear and tape. So, do you guys see the tear and tape anywhere? Anywhere? Where did it go? Am I blind? Okay, well, I have more in the drawer over here, so that's where I'm gonna go. Maybe if I stand up, I'll see it. Honestly, no. Is it right in front of me? Maybe if I look on the screen. You love the Z fold, but you still love that first one? Okay, so I'm gonna add tear and tape just to the sides. I'm really excited that you like that first one, just because I got a little nervous after everyone said they thought that one was the hardest. I'm like, oh, does that mean you don't really like it? I'm adding the tear and tape just on those far edges. Okay, you don't want to go in too far, otherwise your gift card's not going to fit. And then I'm peeling this off, and then we're just going to close it. Okay, close. So there is our gift card holder. And then, oh no. The edging on that is wanting to come off. And I probably won't be able to find dimensionals now. Okay, so there's our gift card pocket. And then the next thing that we're going to do is we're actually going to stamp the very vanilla piece for the inside first and adhere that down. And I'm using Evening Evergreen ink. All is merry and bright. And then I did that same little technique with the Stamparatus and that little tree. And this is actually where that super came in handy, because I found that this little tree was so difficult to line up with the die, and it, like, mine came, see how it's like a little to the right? And you're probably thinking, it looks perfect. I don't know what you're talking about. But we're always our biggest critics, right? So I can tell that it's a little to the right. And now that I have it in my Stamparatus, Stampin' perfect every time. So where's my little tree that I already die cut? And he's going to puzzle piece right inside there. And I'm going to ink it up. Stamp it down. And then if you also have a problem getting him back out of there, the putty tip, just like pick it up with the putty tip. And there we go. And so I added the little tree to the inside. And I saw somebody at my in-person class put the tree next to the greeting, and I thought it was super cute. And I was like, I am doing that. So I'm doing that. It's going to go right here. All is merry and bright. Cute. So now I'm going to put this piece in first. And I know normally we work on the front and then go to the inside, but I'm going to show you why. This is going to be centered. La-di-da, right in the middle. And now we're going to layer these two pieces on. You can use whichever side you want. I know it's really hard to like cover up some of that gold foil, but I'm still doing it. Layer those two pieces together. We're going to take our ribbon. It's just a double knot. Just a double knot. So the left, see this one? The left side goes over the right side and under. And then now the right side, this one, goes over the top of the left and under. I don't know why I put this finger here. That's not the finger I normally use to hold, but I'm trying to like showcase this the best I can while keeping my fingers out of the way. So that's called a square knot, I've learned. And it's a Girl Scout thing, and I was not a Girl Scout. So, but yeah, that gives you that nice flat laying knot. And I will say that if your knot comes out like a T, where like it goes around the card here and then your ends go the other way, that means you did left over left, left over left, and didn't do it, you know, opposing. There's also nothing wrong with that. Trimming my tails. I've always called them ribbon tails. I don't know why. And then now I'm going to add this to my card front, but we don't want to add it right here or put adhesive on the far right-hand side because otherwise it'll seal our card shut. And we want to make sure that it covers up that vanilla over the top. So we don't want it like too far in, out, up, down, or around. And one of the things I want to show you with the adhesive, Terran tape, I found it. This is the one that I went and got though. I'm going to add one strip to the outer edge by the ribbon, one strip next to the ribbon, and then I'm going to add one strip at the edge of this crease of the card front only as long as the vanilla. So now I know that my card front, I don't have to worry about how far over does this go. I want it close to the edge because I don't want it like flapping. But now I know that close to the edge is taken care of and it's going to be adhered. And then close to this edge is taken care of and it's going to be adhered. And then now we just make sure that it covers up all that vanilla and press. So we know we have adhesive here and then here and here, which is perfect. That's enough adhesive to hold on this piece. So we have all is merry and bright. We have our little pocket for the gift card. And then we just have that Merry Christmas, which we die cut with the last one. So that was die cut out of the vanilla scrap piece that came in the card kit. And I also super love this banner, greeting, label, whatever you want to call it. Like, look how cute that is with the little holes there, but then the stitching all around. Love it. You're better at knots than bows. I totally get it. I totally get it. Bows are hard. A lot of times, if the ribbon is not super thick, I recommend tying a double knot first to make sure it's nice and secure, and then doing your bow. To try to tie a bow when the first like knot is not staying like secure, it gets you all flustered and worried and everything. So I always suggest, if you can, like if it's a bulky ribbon, you don't really want a double knot and then the bow on top. But for most, you can always do a double knot, get it secure, then do your bow. Merry Christmas. Ooh, that I feel like came out like phenomenal. Like, it's not crooked, it's nice and crisp. Huh. So excited. Okay, my dimensionals. I don't even know. We're gonna grab a new set. I'm still baffled. Like, I still keep randomly darting my eyes around trying to find the 2 rolls of tear-in tape that are somewhere on this desk. Like, how do you misplace 2 rolls within a matter of an hour and 20 minutes? Like, I feel like I'm going crazy. Do you guys do that too? Please tell me you do. Okay, and then this is gonna go in the center. And then I have a little piece of that Evening Evergreen Glimmer paper, and I'm just gonna die cut out some of those little stars, or hearts, stars, red balloons, snowflakes. So we're gonna pull this back in. Now this is one that we could use the adhesive sheets on. Still looking for that tear-in tape. Still not able to find it anywhere. Okay, how in the world did I not notice that? But my little guy jumped. So I only got 2 out of the 3. Good job, Laura. That's okay. We're just going to go with 2. And somehow I can find the clear sheet of mini glue dots, but I can't find a white roll of tear-in tape. And then we're just going to add these. They're very subtle, but they also add that little extra bling. So I love it. You're good at losing things too? Well, good. I don't feel as bad then. Like, oh, look. Okay, so it was behind this piece of paper in my little basket over here. So I'm going to give myself a pass. I found 1 roll. And there you have it. If you wanted to, if you didn't want to do so much die cutting, you didn't have to do the little tree on the inside. And then you also didn't have to do the snowflakes. You could always use jewels. Like if you were making a whole bunch of these and you were like, I have to eliminate some die cutting somewhere. Then you could always do that. Still die cut the piece here, the banner label, but you could always eliminate those other two by decorating it differently. You could even stamp the tree instead of punching it or, die cutting it out and popping it up like that. One of the other things, like I said, is you can do this in the red and the green. And you could really use the same gift card concept with a birthday card or a graduation card or anything like that and just decorate it a little bit differently. It is probably right in front of me. Like, that's why I'm like, it's got to be here somewhere. I know. And that's why I'm going insane. So there you have card number 4 with the inside and the little gift card holder. So we have 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let me know what your favorite one is, and we are moving on to the 5th and final card. Happy New Year! Whoops. And that is, oh geez. This top little piece fell off earlier because this card has been tossed around, and I didn't use tear and tape on it, and now I realize I used tear and tape, got like pressed it in really hard, and it's upside down. Great. Yes. Hopefully that is not a sign for how my New Year is going to go. There is lots of friends of mine that I feel like I could send them an upside down New Year's card and they would totally understand. So we're going to take our basic black and fold it in half. One of the girls that came to the in-person class, shout out Valerie, came and her birthday is on New Year's Day and she absolutely loved this. She says she loves black and gold together and that this was her favorite card. And then we're just going to layer the large piece of designer series paper onto one of the large pieces of Very Vanilla. And there's just 1/8 of an inch border. So not a big one, just a small little 1/8 of an inch border. And then I'm just going to add a little dab of adhesive in the center. Just enough to hold the ribbon while I flip it over. So like, it's not super secure or anything. There's also some adhesive up high, but that's okay because our glimmer paper is going to go over the top of it. Flip this over. And sometimes I like to even like pull it back, make sure it's pulled tight, and then press into that adhesive. And then same on the other side. Add a little strip of adhesive. Hold this tight. Press into the adhesive. You could also use tear and tape if you really wanted to secure it very well. Finish adding adhesive all around, and then this goes on your card front. You like both colors? Awesome. Yeah, I did the green one originally, and then I really wanted to show off the use of using the other designer series paper in the pack, since you only get so many pieces of the green and so many pieces of the red. So I thought, well, I'm going to show like the same concept, but in red. And now I really can't decide which one I like better, the red or the green. Then I'm adding that little strip of designer series paper to the other piece of Very Vanilla. And this is going to go on the inside. And honestly, there wasn't a greeting that coordinated with the Happy New Year greeting. So I didn't actually put a greeting on the inside of this card. But you could always make I guess I could stamp Happy Birthday and send it to the stamper friend who came to class. So there you have that. I know. It's so hard to even think about New Year's right now. Like, I'm just like, oh, no, not at all. But, you know, it will be here before you know it. And then that scares me. And then the glimmer paper goes right over the ribbon and it's centered. So there's a small border top and bottom and a wider border on the ends, kind of like that first card or that second card we made. And then I wanted to show you guys the circle goes perfectly on this piece of basic black. So I went ahead and I die cut that out. It just goes right in the middle. And you'll notice that it does not die cut out that center circle. So when I went to do it on that last card for the gift card, like it left it. And I was like, wait a minute. All I have is this, but half. So it didn't really go. So I went ahead and poked out all the holes using both my take your pick tool, the poker tool, as well as the die brush, which makes it really easy. But mostly for the mess that it makes on my desk, I went ahead and did that already. Brad helped me do it for the class, and he was like, well, whoever sits in this area, there's going to be black dots everywhere because it's a black tablecloth as well. So yeah, it was black everywhere. And I just decided with this class, I didn't really care where the black dots, where all of the blue snowflake dots and everything went. I was just going to vacuum afterwards. There was no trying to keep it all contained. And then I'm using tear and tape because it's glimmer paper. So now I'm just going to peel off all of the tear and tape. Don't forget that you can actually purchase the Lights Aglow suite. Get both of the stamp sets, both sets of dies, the designer paper, the festive pearls, the ribbon, as well as the glimmer paper and the specialty paper all together. And then you have all the products that you need. And you can coordinate together with this and do these cards. You can also do many other cards throughout the year with the reds and greens and blacks. I almost said white, but it's actually vanilla. Press that down. And then, I actually thought I still needed to die cut this, but apparently it was hiding in there. So I'm just going to poke out those little holes there. And then, of course, don't forget that you can earn celebration goodies whenever you purchase the suite, too. So you can earn celebration goodies at the $50 level as well as at a $100 level. But there's no max amount of celebration that you can earn. So if you order 50, you get one item. If you order 100, you can either get one at the $100 level or two at the 50. And it just keeps going and going and going. Like, you can get as many items as you want. And then now we're going to stamp Happy New Year in black. It's a fabulous one, I have to say. And so many of the images can be used all year long. I know I don't necessarily like to buy a lot of sets that are holiday specific or seasonal specific. So I always try to find ways that I can use them for future. And the snowflakes, you can use January, February, March, depending on where you live. Probably not you, Denise. I mean, you can still do snowflakes down in Texas. I don't know how many snowflakes you're going to get down there. But it's kind of probably like me. I don't typically like to buy a lot of ocean stuff, um, coral or sea fish or starfish, seahorses, kind of like the last paper pumpkin. It's totally not my major jam. I loved it. I thought it was super cute, and I loved having the opportunity to do that with the kit, but not have to buy a whole bunch of products. But yeah. Oh my gosh, how fantastic! Like moving there or just visiting? And then definitely in Colorado, you will need snowflakes for sure. So there's the Happy New Year. Now with this one, you could add like I will be honest and say I'm not a huge fan of mixed metals. I don't like to mix gold and silver. I like to stick with one. But I know that that's like totally a thing. And so that's perfectly fine. You could use the red Festive Pearls to add like a little pop of color. The green would also work for the pop of color. And then there's also the silver and gold. So, I mean, this is mostly gold. I actually did silver on this one because I really wanted to push myself out of the box. This one, though, I'm going to do gold to mix it up a little bit. So you're going to move to Colorado. That's kind of exciting. I guess you might have mixed feelings on exciting or nerve-wracking, I'm sure. So you can see I did the silver on this one with the mixed metals, gold, silver, iridescent with the glimmer paper. And then this one I did gold. I mean, it's not really that big of a difference. And really, you could do this card with lots of different designer paper patterns in the pack, as well as doing a different greeting. Or you could do New Year's cards, and then you have longer time to do it in. Because Christmas, you kind of need to get it out before the December 25th. New Year's, I think you're pretty good with New Year's till like January 30th, right? Super fabulous. That is card number 5. So let me bring back in all of the cards. We have number 5. I've already lost track. Number 4. Where's the red one with number 4? I don't really know. That was number 2 that everybody loved. No, that was number 1. That was 3. Here we go. I think it's all of those. And here's the red one too. So yeah, we have 1, number 2, number 3, 4, and 5. Let me know which one your favorite one was. I hope you guys enjoyed this card class. I hope you got fabulous tips to use in your craft room, whether it was for these specific projects or just general tips to be able to use in making your crafting experience so much better. You love this? Yes, I think it's so elegant and I absolutely love it. All of the cards are number 1. Aw, Colleen, you are so fabulous. I love it. Thank you so much. I'm glad you like them. I get so excited on making these, and I always just hope you guys love them as much as I do too. 1, 2, and 4. So 1, 2, and 4. Awesome. I love it. I love it, Denise. Thanks for casting your vote. I always try to add in a little extra fun here and there, and kind of push you guys a little bit outside your stamping box with a few techniques like the Z fold and the gift card holder and things. So super excited about that. I'm also super pumped that this was less than 2 hours, so it took like an hour and a half to make all 5 of these cards. So that kind of surprises me. I thought for sure this would be a 2-hour class. And then like the last class though, super surprised me that it took so long. So I guess you just never know. But yeah, I definitely have been talking straight for an hour and a half. Not that that's a surprise because I'm such a talker, but yeah, I need to go sip my water. And I am ready for bed. I hope you guys all have a wonderful weekend. Love, hugs, and prayers to all of you guys. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay hydrated, and sunscreen because it is hot out there. And I will see you. I'll see you at a random live this coming week. And then next month's card kit is going to be the Splendid Day Suite. So stay tuned for that. I will have kits and information out for you to get signed up for that soon. And if you're interested in getting a like a multi-month, like instead of paying monthly, if you wanted to get a multi-month subscription to the online card class, then just reach out to me. I had some others asking about that, and so I'm happy to do that. if that's something that interests you. So that way you know that you're signed up for all the upcoming months. So I hope you guys will have a wonderful weekend. I'll see you all next time. Bye.